Hello my friends, welcome to Desmodus, the romantic vampire. We're going to go ahead and embellish this journal. Now I wanted to let you know that this is actually a book and I have added all new paper into this book. So I'd like to go through and do some embellishing today. This is the fourth video that I'm doing in this series. This is a collaboration. I hope you'll go through and check out all of the collaborators. They are amazing. And many of them will be using my printable kit, which is called Desmodus. And it is available in my Etsy shop. And I want to let you know that there are freebies available in my Facebook group, which is called Creating with Jovi Journals and Crafts. So check that out. If you want to play along, grab some freebies if you want to. Grab the kit, play along, post your makes in the Facebook group, or if you are a content creator, feel free to do some videos and just tag me if you will. And it'd be great fun. I'd love to have you join in. So you can see when I put this fabric in here, which was in like the second video I believe, because it was a process video of getting the journal started, and this fabric is basically my nemesis. But we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna be adding I think either a paper or more fabric over top of that, so I'm not gonna worry about it because it's shedding way more than fabric usually does. But at any rate, what we're gonna do, what we're gonna start with is embellishing. As we are working our way through embellishing, I also wanted to make sure I had some laces and things like that so we can add those to the pages as we see fit. And so I've got these handy so I don't forget that that's something that I want to do. And let's get started. I think definitely one of the things that I want to make sure end up inside would be the cut-aparts from the printable kit. So let me grab those real quick and show them to you. This is not one of them, but we can use this. I used that on a tag in one of the pages. But we've got some bottles and a stopwatch. No, not a stopwatch. A pocket watch. Some candles. A necklace. A flower. Another candle. An inkwell here. And then some vampire quotes. So that's what I have as far as the fussy cuts. Then of course I have other things that we can use as embellishments. And then of course we have our lace, and I've got lots of trims if we, if what we have right here is not enough, I have more. So let's get started. All right, now we're over to this page, and I wouldn't mind some trim going this way, but first I think I need to add this trim to the top. Look how pretty that looks. So let's go ahead and cut this. I'm thinking I can cut it here. Let's bring this one over a little bit, right about here. And we'll just go right across the top with it. I think that looks super nice. If you hear any loud sounds, there is a thunderstorm outside. You might hear the rain hitting the window. Not yet, but it's coming. I just heard a little bit of it and I heard some thunder, so if you hear something, I just wanted you to know what it was. There, I think that looks super pretty. And I also feel that I would like to do something small right across the top. What do you guys think about gold going across the top? I mean, it's not what I was originally thinking, but I don't think it's bad. Let me show you what I grabbed. So we've got the gold. Then we have this rich brown. Then we've got some black and white. It's a little bit wider than I'd like, honestly. And then I've got a light purple. Where did it go? Here it goes. It's not super light, but it's light. Oh yeah, that doesn't really, no, that doesn't, I don't think I like that. So I'm thinking, let's go with the gold. Okay. I'm gonna put this right up here. so that when I flip the page, the glue will not stick to that page. All right, now this page definitely needs some embellishing. We've got some purple going on in here. We have our vampire bride right inside of the pocket. It might be good to use this quote, "My true love hath my heart and I have his." Let's go ahead. I'm going to cut this out with my paper trimmer. And before we move forward with that, I'm going to go around it with some brown ink. And I'm going to do a little bit of purple on the inside. There, that looks good. And I think we'll just go ahead and glue that down right in the center of that pocket. And how about if we add some of this black lace right at the bottom of the purple page? I kind of like that. Now I want to use, I'm thinking I'm going to pull in a piece of this purple. We have a couple of different shades of purple going on, so I think it's okay to add a little bit more, and I'm going to add it right here at the top. This one I am going to use my hot glue. Oh, did I mention, guys? I mentioned that we have Collaborators. Please check them out. I want to mention also that I will be giving away this journal, and if you would like to have this journal, please put in the comments of each one of my videos this month that you would like to be entered in the giveaway. I've got this embellished and I have this. I think that looks nice, and I think let's do two these little guys right here. Let's do two of these, one on each corner right here, and then I think that page is in pretty good shape. I'm using Gem Tack. I like to mention the adhesives that I use just in case you're new here. If you've been watching me for a while, you know what I like to use, but if you're new, first of all, welcome, but also, you know, just letting you know kind of the materials that I use. And I do have Amazon links in my description box below, and so you can grab these items, and it doesn't cost extra for you to use an Amazon link, but they give me just a little kickback, nothing to get too excited about, but you know what? It adds up, and I always appreciate that so much. I think that looks great. I don't think I'm gonna mess with this page anymore. We're gonna turn it, and we're gonna hope that those stones don't move. All right, so this is a belly band. That's what you're seeing here. I don't know, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep this one simple. I'm gonna add the gems at the top. I'll do one at the top and one at the bottom. And that's gonna be it for this page. Because, you know, it's a pretty skinny belly band and all that. I want to make this so it's not a gator mouth. So far, I'm in good shape, but when you start to add embellishments and stuff, things can really bulk up. So I want to be mindful of that. All right, this page here has some eco dye on it. Some eco dye that I created. That's always fun to play with papers. Let's go ahead and add a top to this. Let's try this on for size. It looked really nice on the last one. I like that. I really love this color. Hold on, let me measure this out again. Okay, I really like this color with the black. I just think it looks so very pretty. Do you hear the rain tapping my window? My desk is right next to a window. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this gold here. I think it'll look nice with the black, of course, but also with this eco-dyed paper since it has such a nice gold hue to it. I did some purple inking, but I think I'd like to add some brown to that. So let's do that. That was definitely thunder, you guys. I'm sure you heard that. There we go, I like it. Should we go down this side with this? I do like to add trim to the edges of my pages, and I'm thinking, why not? And I might do a combination. We'll see how this adheres. I was going to say I might do a combination of this 3-in-1 along. If I miss any spots and it lifts, I'll just go ahead and pop some hot glue there. But let's get this down real quick before that dries. And then we can add something to the edge. We could stick with the gold, or, okay, and it would look like this, which does look really good, especially because of the candlelight over here. You know, I think I might just go with that. It looks real nice. Oops, gotta get this down before it dries. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna lay this down so I can press and not get glue all over my fingers. I like that. We have this piece. This definitely needs a little something. I could do this candle here. Is that redundant because of this, or do we like it? I think I like it. So let me put a little ink on it. The ink will give it a little bit of definition. Let's try this again. We're putting it here. Now, I feel like it's missing something. Not terribly so, but just something. Maybe some music paper underneath it, like right here. Let me grab some. I have some music paper I've been using. So let's tear some of this. So if we added this music paper, and then we added the candle. What if I put this here, and then I put this here? I think I want the music paper to be a little taller, actually. Let's try that again. Let's see. Let's go like this. Okay. Now let's try this again. I think I like that. And then if we put the candle on it, what do you guys think? Oh yeah, I like it. I think it adds some character. You know what would add even more is if I put a little brown ink on it just to distress it a bit. So I hope you guys have been following along with the collaboration. I've had a lot of fun. I had been wanting to do a vampire printable kit for several years now, and I thought to myself, this is the year. And hopefully you saw the first couple of videos, but if you didn't see when I introduced the kit, I did a video for that. But if you didn't end up seeing that, I was saying in it that Desmodus, he is not an evil vampire, and he has, you know, he wants to be a good guy, right? So he just wants to find the love of his life and live happily forever after. And so he has changed up his lifestyle to enjoy a green drink for breakfast, you know, so he can get all the nutrients that he needs. And he likes almond milk. And, you know, in the afternoon he drinks green tea. And so, you know, he's not really a bad guy. He just wants to fly around and have a nice time and, you know, all that. That's a nice embellishment, you know, something a little bit different. It just adds a lot of layer and character to it, and I really like that. This is on top of a piece of my jelly printed paper. This one is just so pretty, and we've got the gold on here, and then we've got the gold here. I'm just going to leave that alone. Whoever wins this journal can play with that and do something different with it if they'd like to. No problem there. Okay, so I love this, but I think it needs some stenciling. This is like my favorite stencil, and what we're going to do is use the brown. All right, so what I don't want to do is cover the whole thing, and I don't want to interrupt where somebody might like to do some writing, some journaling. So I'm just going to go around the outside, and I'm going pretty light. All right, let's check it. Oh yeah, that's great. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. It's nice and light, can totally be written over, not overwhelming. So that's a win. Let's do the same thing on this side. great. What do you think about that? You guys like that? I think that's nice. Adds a little something. Now, I thought this would be nice for a gel pen. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do here, right now, I'm gonna add a piece of book page. I'm gonna add it to this. And then later on, I'll go in and I will gesso it. So with white gesso, or well, it's regular gesso is white. So I'm gonna go ahead and gesso it, and then that way it can be written on. You'll still be able to see the book page a little bit, but it's so faint that you can write over it and use it as a journaling spot. Or you could draw a picture, or you could add, you know, glue something to it. Whatever your creative mind wants you to do. I think that looks nice. And it keeps us from getting too bulky. You know, that's a pretty flat thing there. I'm gonna add this sparkly brown trim right down the center of this pocket. This is like a side tuck pocket. And that's what we're gonna do with this. And then I'm gonna grab one of the cut-aparts from the kit, probably a candle, and add that. How about this one? We could put it down here, or I could put it in the center. Let's play with it. If I put it here, let's just say, and then I could fussy cut this rose and put that there, or is it better with this in the center? I kind of don't mind that being, you know, sort of by itself in the center. So let's go ahead and ink it. Give it a little definition here. There we go. Get some glue on it. All right, my friends, so this is going to be the last embellishment for the day. I will go ahead and finish embellishing on my own. And the next video, which will be the last video in the Desmodus-The Romantic Vampire collaboration, will be the flip through of this journal. Also, I want to remind you that this is going to be given away. And if you'd like to win, then put in the comments of each one of my Desmodus videos that you would like to be entered to win. And be sure to check out everybody's videos. We've seen some awesome stuff. Perfect time of year to be Halloween crafting and creating. So please check out all of my wonderful collaborators. Okay, my friends, this is it for now. Thanks for watching. See you soon.